This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social, and I'm delighted to be joined by former heavyweight, British and Commonwealth champion Scott Welch, and we're down here at Carney's Community for the World Adaptive Boxing Council's launch of their Adaptive Boxing Programme. That's the first time I've got it all right so far today, Scott. But Scott, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's good to hear. Now, obviously, like I mentioned, we are down here for the Adaptive Boxing Programme launch. Just talk to me a little bit about what it is that you guys are trying to achieve and the thoughts behind the Adaptive Boxing Programme.
In 2017, I saw these guys do an exhibition of boxing on an SAS card at York Hall. I was blown away with I was inspired, and it was so inspirational to me to see these guys and do what they do. And afterwards, talking to them, understanding that they've been doing it for a few years, they're trying to get a bit of publicity for it, this. And I thought, right, okay, this is something that's inspired me, and I believe that in boxing, if we can inspire people, and I think these guys are fantastic, they're heroes, and they deserve to be seen. So everything we're doing is just to try and get as much publicity for them as possible.
So obviously you started it off. Where did the WBC come into? Where did the initial conversations with Maurizio come into play?
I'm the chairman of the WBC Cares, which is a goodwill arm of the WBC. And after it inspired me, I spoke to Maurizio and said, if we can organise something in London, would you come along? And he said, absolutely, he'd love to. And we organised it, he came along, he was inspired, and he said, look, these guys need to be seen. You know, we need to get them out there. Invictus Games, Paralympics are further down the road, but they need to be seen. And if we can showcase them in front of 150 people or 80,000 people, that's what I believe they should do. They're entertainers, they love it, they perform, they're incredible. They move wheelchairs, the wheels are their legs, and you know what they can do in these chairs is fantastic. So that's what we're trying to do, is just push it out there. Sugar Ray Leonard was blown away when I spoke to him about it, and he said, wow, you know, he gets behind us as well, because it's all about the skill level. We're not knocking people out, we're not hurting people, we're purely using it as a skill level. So
what do you make of everybody's stories? You know, when I turned up today, I was saying to Charlie Edwards, I weren't sure what to expect in terms of how the day was going to plan out, and speaking to everyone, and I never knew how severe their stories would be. I mean, I knew how bad the injuries might be, but I never knew about their stories and the feelings that you generate towards them. When you hear about their stories, what goes through your mind, and how they've managed to find a motivation to pick themselves up and find a new motivation in life?
I couldn't. How I would deal with this, I don't know. How they've dealt with it is unbelievable. They've been in the deepest, darkest holes, and they're still coming out, and they're still surviving. They're still telling me that they want to do this, they want to do that. This is definitely changing their lives. The boxing, the same as what boxing done for me. It kept me out of. It gave me a purpose in life. I had nothing. I was going nowhere, and I had a dream, and I followed that dream, and it paid off. These guys are telling me the same stories. They don't want to be known as Danny Higgins, severely disabled. He's telling me he's a boxer. I'm a boxer, Scott. What this has done for my life has changed it. It's made me feel better, stronger, you know, incredible. So if that can do that to one kid there, I believe that it can do it to so many, and we can touch their lives and make them feel better about themselves and everything they're doing. So,
what type of obstacles, if any, have you felt that you've had to overcome to date? I know, speaking to Charlie Edwards, who's saying that some people might not agree with it as a sport, but he's fully behind it and he wants to support it as much as he can. What types of situations like that, in terms of any negative reaction at all, if anything, that you might have had to overcome?
Again, I mean, what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with somebody. I'm a guy that in the amateurs, one of my friends got severely brain damaged. Through the pros, obviously the deaths around us. I personally am a dear friend of Michael Watson's, so and as chairman of the Cares, we look after as many people as we can. So what I see here is these guys. It gives them a purpose in life. It gives them something to aim for. There's no. What can I say? These guys are not out. We're educating these guys to go out and enjoy what they do. They're not going out. In our world of boxing, we go out to kind of win at all costs. These guys are not doing that. These guys are having fun. They're feeling good about themselves. They're smiling in there afterward. There's no one getting hurt. No one's getting bashed up. And this is what we want to see. But they're entertainers. So they entertain me just by showing, their training techniques, their different stuff. They're going to change their bodies. They're going to change their lives.
You mentioned in your speech earlier that you're constantly changing the rules and the laws of the sport. What is the current scheme that you guys have set up?
Well, it's not so much we're changing it constantly. We understand where we are. The skill levels are defensive skills, wheelchair movement, the head movement, the hand defence. So there's all these different defences of what we're working on. If we were to go out, if one of the guys was to go out and throw hard punches, then they'd be penalised for that. But they won't do that because everyone's being educated from the very beginning. No one's getting in the ring, no one's walking into the gym and going, oh right, I want to fight tomorrow. That's never going to happen. These guys are going to be trained to a high level, they're going to show all the skills, they're going to be doing exhibitions, and they're going to grow. And they're not there to hurt or damage anybody.
I know you're going to be taking it day by day, but if you could put some sort of a timeline on it, when would you like to have everything rubber stamped and officially made a sport where everybody's competing regularly at different events?
We're looking at showcasing in the next kind of 3 months. We'll be going on shows, and again, we're watching, we're learning, we're understanding everything. And we'll be going out every week, once a month, and then it'll be every week probably somewhere up and down the country. And that's where we want to be, showcasing, doing what we do. And then the levels of that is where we see where the next level is.
As I'm here with you now, obviously a former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, just wanted to get your thoughts on the current heavyweight landscape. Starting off with last week, Jarrell Miller's failed VADA tests, we failed 3 different drug tests. I know the WBC are very passionate about dealing with drugs and we've got their own initiative for that. What was your reaction when you found out about Jarrell's failed tests? Disappointment again. It's not good for the game, it's not good for the people. What can I say? The problem is we're living in a world where I believe that there's a lot of shortcuts. People want shortcuts to get to where they want to be. What can I say? It happens. I'm not happy about it. I don't think he's done himself any good. He hasn't done the boxing any good. But what can I say? In terms of punishments, what do you think's suitable now for people who are caught out for taking PEDs?
I mean, I don't know the circumstances. It's not my thing to say really, but I hope that he sorts himself out. He doesn't get too severely punished, and he gets back in the ring soon. That's what I'd like to see.
And also, what are your thoughts with regards to the top 3 heavyweights, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury? Everybody's waiting to see if we will see those 3 fight each other at some stage. It seems to be there's a lot of people thinking that because they're all signed to different TV networks, that's what's going to stop those fights from happening. Can you see those guys meeting at some point, or do you think that those obstacles will be too much for them to overcome?
No. I mean, listen, you have a big fight. They've all just had a big fight. And now they deserve to earn money. You know, the whole number one in the game is to earn as much money as possible, I believe, to set yourself up for when you retire. These guys, you know, Deontay and Fury just fought each other in a hell of a fight, and Fury told me himself that, mate, this guy can punch. It's a risk to his life, which it is. You know, you're getting punched in the head. This guy's a knockout specialist, so it's very dangerous. So, you know, does he want paying for it? Of course he does. Does he deserve to be paid for it? Absolutely. He's given us. But I was there ringside. You know, the fight was fantastic to watch. Anthony Joshua is fantastic. You know, these guys now have changed boxing for the better. You know, they've now shown how much money's out there again. More people are going to get involved. It's going to filter down to the lower levels, which I believe is in a bad state, which needs the help. And now the money, the Joshua effect and the Eddie Hearn effect and the Frank Warren effect, is the big money out there now. It's all starting to filter down, and that's going to make boxing so much in a better place. You know, that's what I believe. We're moving in the 21st century now. We've been stuck in the 18th, 19th century for the last so many years. I believe now is time to move it into the 21st century. And that's what these guys are doing. The money that's coming down, it's going to help everybody. It's going to help the boxing. And it's going to be in a great, great place. I believe we're in a great place now, but I believe we're even going to go to a better place. So,
do you think boxing can return to the lofty heights of when Muhammad Ali, the George Foremans, etc. were all boxing?
Well, I believe, again, you know, Joshua for me is probably the next Ali coming through. You know, everything he's touched is turned to gold. He's a great man. He looks after the people. You know, not saying the other guys ain't great. They're great as well, and they're doing what they can do. But I believe that Joshua is like an Ali, you know. So.
Well, Scott, I appreciate your time. I know you're going to speak to other people now, so thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Lovely. Thank you very much.